From the Oklahoman studios in Oklahoma City, I'm Dave Morris. Happy to be joined on the phone by Chelsea Handler. Chelsea, good morning, right?
Good morning. Yes, it's a good morning to me. Well, I'm in Australia. I don't think it's morning for you guys, but sure, I'll take a morning.
Chelsea, it's happy hour in Oklahoma City, but I think in Melbourne, it's probably breakfast time.
Yeah, it is breakfast time. That reminds me. Thank you.
Well, as you mentioned, you're in Australia as part of the tour. How was the show last night?
That was awesome. Thank you. I've been having a great time here in Australia. It's nice. It's nice to have an excuse to leave our country, so I'm enjoying it. And by the way, everybody speaks English, and I'm learning so much more about Australian history than I've ever had on any of my previous tours. So I've been reading a lot of books here.
We're talking with Chelsea Handler, trying to reset things here. She has a show in Melbourne last night. She'll be on to New Zealand next, I believe, before returning to the States. Oranges, did you have oranges on stage, or were the oranges good?
The oranges are a symbol of, everybody in their life at some point needs an orange, and an orange is a theme in my book, and it's a theme. I'm coming out with my own cannabis line next year, and it's a theme for my cannabis line. I just feel like orange is like an olive branch to somebody. It's kind of like a life raft. So it's taken on its own little life on my tour, which I love. So yeah, I throw out oranges at the end of the show, so anybody who needs one can get their vitamin C.
Very good. You can find out more information. There's the website you see on your screen at chelseahandler.com. She will be in Oklahoma City, appearing at the Criterion on Saturday, November 23rd, and that begins at 8 o'clock. Lots to talk with Chelsea here. The book that she mentions, Life Will Be the Death of Me. Chelsea, I just finished reading that. It is a fantastic read, and for me, in my mid-40s, I can relate to a lot of the things you were writing about there. Was that important for you to kind of share where you are in life right now?
Yeah, I've made a career of being, loud and obnoxious and oversharing. So it was a great opportunity for me to be able to overshare something that's been helpful to people. My own experience in therapy was something I thought I was way too smart to ever even have to venture into. So it was it was just, as soon as I started to learn all of these things about myself and paying somebody for the transaction of paying someone to tell you what's wrong with you is really helpful. It's a real great way to get information. And so I just kind of wrote the book thinking, oh my God, if I'm dealing with this stuff and I'm, on the surface successful and people think I'm having a great time, and how many other people are suffering and dealing with this. And plus therapy is just so funny. Learning about yourself and kind of screwing up all along the way, thinking you're becoming a better person and then getting into a fight with a 6-year-old at the airport, is not like behavior that you're proud of, but it's really fun to talk about because it's totally relatable. We're all impatient, we all live in this fast-paced world where we're not present, where we're not mindful, and you screw up all the time.
I was talking with Paige, my producer, before we began about the book. She was like, well, how is it? I was like, it's kind of a serious book, but of course it's Chelsea Handler, so it's full of zingers right and left, but it's such an entertaining read. And let me just say this to you, Chelsea, I appreciated the fact that you wrote that book because I could relate to a lot of it. Certainly not being on stage and the comedy side of things, but just, going through life.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that, I've never done something that was received so well. Like, I'm always used to, splitting hairs and being decisive. So it was really nice to put something out there that people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this is you. Nobody's one-dimensional. And I think for so many years, people thought that I only had one side to me. And I, of course, don't have one side. I have a multitude of sides to me, as we all do. So it was really helpful. I mean, even, every day I get these messages on my DMs and on Instagram and my social media platforms from people who decided to go to therapy or, who've lost a brother or a sister or a mother, or, we started this group on Facebook called the Orange Room for people who are dealing with trauma or grief. So for me to be able to do stuff that's helpful to people, that inspires people to do better and to take a look at themselves, has been really, I've been able to do that, and now I'm able to turn it into a stand-up tour, which is exactly where I come from, and where I started, is obviously super fulfilling for me because I can take anything and make it funny. I was missing kind of the serious part, no more. And now that I have the serious, it's like, oh my God, my stand-up to me is so much sharper and so much more on point, I'm not on stage drunk ever, like I just took it all for granted when I was younger. So it's nice to have this kind of opportunity, and I've just been having the best time. So I'm pretty happy.
Congratulations, Chelsea, on that. Also, congratulations on the book, as you mentioned, being well received. Your 6th book, all of them New York Times bestseller. This is the 5th straight, I believe, going #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. But perhaps I found nothing more surprising in your book than Bob Mueller. Are you still crushing on Bob Mueller?
Well, I'm trying to be in a world where my love is not conditional, and since Bob Mueller did not deliver, me losing my feelings for him would be conditional. So I'm just gonna see how it goes. I'm still attracted to him. There aren't a lot of 74-year-old men that still have a six-pack, and I could see his six-pack through his suit. So yes, for the time being, I'm still attracted to Bob Mueller.
This is what I'm talking about, people. It's a serious book, but it's Chelsea Handler. The book, again, Life Will Be the Death of Me. She also has a Netflix documentary that you can find, which is called Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea. Chelsea, were you surprised by any of the reactions of the people that you interviewed?
Yes, of course. White privilege is a white person's problem. So white people don't, as soon as they feel like if they admit that it's happening, then people think that they have to give something away. And, I wanted this documentary to be a conversation starter, to actually question your own privilege, because it was something I didn't think existed. I thought it existed only in, families that went to Harvard or Yale. I didn't come from money. I didn't think I had white privilege, and I did. I have a huge career for behaving badly, for drinking and talking about sex and drugs, and I got rewarded for that over and over and over again. I got one show after another show, and I can do whatever. I can make documentaries. I can go on tour. A person of color behaving like I did would not have had the career that I had. So coming to that, reconciling that and actually taking a look around instead of looking at my own lane and my own life and thinking, wait, what am I here to do? I'm here to inspire other people, take a deep look, and, that's really what I want to do. And you can do that with humor, obviously. That's the best way to do it, because a lot of people don't want to talk about serious stuff. So I like to inject everything. And, after a serious year, it's fun to be back on the road and be able to be on stage and telling my story and be able to do serious stuff while also being able to do stuff like this.
Well, it's fantastic stuff. Again, you can find that documentary on Netflix, Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea. By the way, what does Netflix recommend to you, Chelsea? What are you watching these days?
Oh, well, I haven't been home in a while. I'm away out of the country for about a month, so I haven't really been watching TV, which has been a great break. It's nice. I've only been reading books, so it's a nice break to get out of the country and actually, think about other things.
Very good. Well, we'll let you get on with your day there in Melbourne. And by the way, safe travels. Again, you can find more information at chelseahandler.com. And there's a whole bunch of stuff there to get into. In addition to tickets and showtimes, you can sign up for our email newsletter. There are podcasts, cannabis, Netflix, Instagram. The social media accounts are linked there right at the top. Chelsea, thank you very much. And again, congrats on everything.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Again, Chelsea Handler in Oklahoma City, Saturday, November 23rd at the Criterion.